Hello, it's me again. How are you? Have you ever really thought about Tesla's future, as in where they might be 5 years from now, 10 years, 20 years? Have you took the time to imagine just what the business side of things could look like? Can you even visualise 2030? How old are you going to be? What shape are you going to be in? Have you thought about what it would take for the stock price of Tesla to 10x from where it is today, or even a 100x? Don't go just yet. I'm simply asking you to come with me on a journey to see what's possible. Save your judgment until the end of the video, where you can happily choose to agree or disagree with my logic using those thumbs buttons. I visualise Tesla's future on both evidence and assumptions from what Elon Musk, SpaceX and Tesla have accomplished so far. Do they have a track record of achieving the impossible? To relentlessly innovate and battle against the odds of success until they succeed? One of the strongest pieces of evidence of that comes from SpaceX, where they have mastered the almost impossible task of landing and reusing rockets. Now, most people lose their minds when a water bottle gets flipped onto its bottom, let alone a fully autonomous 150-ton metal tube that's not only orbited space, but plummets back to Earth, whacks the thruster brakes on at the last second, pops its tiny little legs out and lands gracefully on a landing pad in the wobbly sea. Now that's pretty good evidence of a near impossible task for any humans to master, agree? Nobody on Earth believed that rockets could autonomously land themselves and be reused. Just Elon and a small team of rocket engineers at SpaceX have changed the history of spaceflight by delivering the impossible. SpaceX have solved autonomy for rockets, and guess what? Cars are next! Another compelling achievement for me was Tesla's 2014 forecast to build 500,000 electric cars by 2020. This was laughed at and ridiculed until, of course, it became reality. Well, close enough. Tesla, along with Ford, are the only successful American car companies that have avoided bankruptcy. For Tesla to have reached 1.4 million cars built last year, despite the, let's say, challenging environment of the past couple of years, is remarkable. Go back even further and realise that Tesla survived the 2008 recession whilst trying to ramp up the brand new technology of electric cars in a world where A, there was zero charging infrastructure, and B, everyone was saying it was a stupid idea. Quite frankly, it's almost a miracle that Tesla has survived its past. But here's another tick off the list for Tesla reaching its overly ambitious goals. Despite Tesla's unimaginable success so far, there are people that just don't seem capable of putting two and two together. Will they continue to achieve more near impossible tasks in the future? Don't underestimate what's possible. If the laws of physics allow it, it's achievable. And in his own words, Elon said, "We specialise in making the impossible merely late." More evidence of Tesla's competence. Sandy Monroe is one of, if not the best automotive engineers on the planet. Take a look at his YouTube channel Monroe Live and watch him reverse engineer anything of Tesla's. As in, he tears it apart to see how it's made. The batteries, the powertrain, electric motor, the car bodies. Sandy loses his mind at recognising Tesla's unique, genius and often baffling ability to defy the laws of physics with its components. From an engineering perspective, Tesla products are years ahead of any so-called competition. Not many people understand this, apart from the experts such as Sandy Monroe, his incredible team, and those geeks like me who are paying attention to it. Other evidence I see is me! I was blown away the moment I experienced ludicrous mode in a Tesla Model S back in 2017, thanks to one of the Tesla owner club members who taxied me into the first fully charged live event. That acceleration, coupled with the silence of it, had me confused for the rest of the day. What on earth had I just sat through? And then there's my own experience of owning a Tesla Model 3 for almost 4 years now. My mind is still blown every time I drive it. The performance, software, practicality, autopilot, the over-the-air updates, no servicing, the immense cost savings, everything about it screams the future. My Tesla is easily the most fun product I have ever had. And I once owned an Amiga 500 Plus, so that's saying something. A Tesla is just the ultimate fun piece of tech money can buy. Let's speculate with a few assumptions. Right after my coffee. Oh, that's good coffee. I'm not advertising it, it's just good coffee. Let's speculate with a few assumptions. Understanding the production capacity of each Tesla factory on Earth right now is a good place to start. With guidance for 1.8 million... Oh, I've got a really big itch. With guidance for 1.8 million cars being made this year in 2023, and that's with just 2 of its 4 factories at full production. That's the original Fremont factory in California and the factory in Shanghai, China. It's easy to speculate how many cars will be made once all are ramped up to full capacity. The Berlin and Texas factories are already coming up to speed, having both almost reached 5,000 cars a week production rate. And then there's the new Gigafactory in Mexico that should be up and running by late 2024, and possibly another factory location that's rumoured to be built at the same time. To assume Tesla will have the production capacity to build many millions of cars seems very reasonable to me, and the more cars Tesla builds, the greater the revenues and profits. Here's another assumption worth pondering. The world's best graduating engineers want to work for either SpaceX or Tesla. Not my opinion, facts. Does that say anything about which company might progress faster, more efficiently, make the best decisions as well as products, and have a better overall pool of talent to choose from? And what does that leave the competition with? How to put this politely? The second best engineers. But let's be honest, I'm no engineer. I'm just another idiot on YouTube. Engineers use science and technology to innovate and find solutions to improve our lives, and should certainly be celebrated a lot more than they are for their incredible work. To assume that Tesla will keep innovating, designing and producing incredible new products is a bit of a no-brainer too. They have the finances, the capabilities, the world's best talent and engineers. Nothing will stop Tesla now, no matter how many times we still hear that the Tesla killers are coming, or that Toyota has just developed a new engine that will be the end of the EV industry. Hilarious! Still pushing the complexities of hydrogen, I see. You utter pillocks! Elon mentioned on the last earnings call, Tesla will make heat pumps. They will carry on increasing their solar and battery storage for homes and utility projects. They will continue to drive down their manufacturing costs, as per their announced half price to build next generation vehicles. Everything is pointing in a very obvious, great direction for Tesla's future. Some are capable of seeing through this noise, stupidity and short-sightedness. Others, it seems, are not. The negative Tesla news of the moment, for example, is that they have shrinking profit margins. Whilst this is true for the short term, it really matters not when looking at the big picture. Tesla are choosing maximum production over short-term profit margins, and for this, the stock price is being punished from those that cannot see beyond the short-term view of Tesla's business plan, making assumptions on the stock price. You don't need to be a mathematical genius to look at Tesla's past, present and future to conclude that they are growing in all the right directions. Record-breaking production and deliveries quarter after quarter. Massive growth in the energy division, the Cybertruck pilot production line getting ready for Q3 deliveries, ever closer developments in full self-driving, multiple future revenue streams from software as a service subscriptions in all Tesla vehicles, and that's over 3 million cars on the road to date, by the way. Revenue from the world's largest supercharging network, new factories being built, over $22 billion in the bank. And even with the recent price cuts, Tesla still have industry-leading profit margins. For example, Tesla makes roughly $10,000 profit on each car it sells. Ford's electric cars, however, are losing them $25,000 per sale. Just think about that for a moment. Nothing? Okay, in simple terms, they broke! Tesla also made 8 times more profit per car than Toyota last year. Anyone who thinks that Toyota is going to survive this is ludicrously misinformed. As Tesla continue to lower the cost to make its vehicles, which evidently they have been doing since day one and will continue to do, their profit margins will increase over time. Plus, the more cars Tesla build, the cheaper they become, which is the economies of scale, a proportionate savings in costs gained by an increased level of production. And I'm certainly punching above my weight with that sentence, aren't I? Whilst it would be great if we were all capable of building our own business valuation models and stress testing assumptions and inputting every minuscule detail each quarter, not all of us have the ability to confidently do that. And I'm certainly not going to sit here and pretend that I'm capable of that right now, although it is something that I'm working towards doing as I push my poor struggling old brain into the future. But for now, I and others have the ability and the choice to stand on the shoulders of giants, as it were. This is certainly not to say that blindly following the crowd is a good idea either. You really should do your own homework, and I plan to. However, many financially savvy people, such as ARK Invest, have taken the enormous amount of time to gather the data of Tesla, project into the future many thousands of variable possibilities and outcomes, which includes the likely success of robo-taxis, solving autonomy, software as a service revenue, vehicle production numbers, etc., and making reasonable assumptions on where Tesla's share price might be in the future, based on the company's projected revenue. ARK Invest's newly modelled forecast for Tesla shares is an expected valuation of $2,000 per share by 2027. If you are bad at maths, that's well over 10x from today's price in just 4 years' time. I'd highly recommend looking through ARK's updated open source Tesla valuation model, and I'll link it in the description below. How on earth could Tesla 100x from where it is today? Well, again, time might be the only variable here. Do you think it likely that Tesla will just stop progressing, innovating, building out its production facilities and creating new products? Of course not. They are unstoppable at this point. They are heading towards becoming the largest, most profitable business the world has ever seen, in my humble opinion, of course. They've already given us not only the secret master plans 1, 2 and 3, but also a detailed plan of how to shift the world to an electric economy. Might Tesla's extreme growth of its battery energy business benefit from this? I think so. The growth of its home solar and battery storage is enabling Tesla to become its own worldwide utility company, its own microgrid of connected homes. Tesla's software AutoBidder controls independent power producers, that's people with solar and battery storage, by buying and selling energy. Buy cheap, sell high. Autobidder is what's technically known in the industry as a money printer for its customers and for Tesla. When Tesla reaches its stated goal of building 20 million vehicles a year, just consider how many people will be paying Tesla to lease their cars or pay monthly subscriptions for extra software services such as entertainment or full self-driving. After the first year of reaching a 20 million vehicle run rate, there will be roughly 80 million Tesla vehicles on the roads. If perhaps half of those were paying just $10 a month for software subscriptions, that's $4.8 billion of pure profit. What about if half of Tesla owners are willing to pay $200 a month for their car to be fully autonomous? That's $96 billion of pure profit, growing by a further 20% each year at a 20 million vehicle annual production rate. 5 years later, that's $200 billion each year in pure profits from software subscriptions alone. Financially, things start to look quite insane real quick when you start doing some numbers. On top of that, there's the financial implications of the Tesla bot, the Dojo supercomputer to train its AI deep neural networks and machine learning algorithms. There's AutoBidder, energy solutions, but of course don't forget, Tesla is just a car company. With so many businesses within Tesla, all vertically integrated within one another and each looking to become insanely profitable in their own right, do you think it possible for the share price to 100x over time? Surely it's only a matter of time. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Why some people think Tesla will fail. Pessimism is one cause, I suppose. Negative people always find a way to shoot down other people's hopes and dreams rather than showing support. But move past those folks and you might just get people who simply haven't spent the time thinking about it, who might otherwise be persuaded by the evidence and assumptions. And then there's this. I learnt a new word today, and it's been rather an epiphany to understand its meaning. And it wasn't that word. The word to describe someone without imagination is aphantasia, the inability to not only visualize images in your mind, but it leaves people incapacitated in visualizing the future too. Now, if you can't extrapolate the data of Tesla, the actual numbers growing in all the directions over the years, or you cannot mentally visualize a world in which autonomous robo-taxis become a reality, or you do not see the disruption to the world's energy systems with grid-scale battery storage, solar and wind, let alone visualizing Tesla bots taking over the entire labour market someday, then it's no wonder that what seems to be like the vast majority of people really struggle to imagine a future in which Tesla's ludicrously ambitious plans come to fruition. Just as people struggle to see the plausibility of landing autonomous reusable rockets at SpaceX in their early days. I've built my assumptions on evidence. I like to see facts and data to prove things are either right or wrong. So after 4 years of driving my own Tesla using standard autopilot, that's quite literally driven me and my family thousands of miles, it doesn't seem much of a stretch in my mind for the car to become fully autonomous in the future. I can also weigh that up against YouTube videos of folks in America currently using the latest full self-driving beta software in their Teslas, where I can see with my own eyes the many leaps of improvements compared to my car's abilities, and how incredibly far Tesla has come towards solving full autonomy. Time is the only variable in my mind of when autonomous robo-taxis become reality. It's not if, but when. The very idea of car ownership is challenged at that point. The evidence I see regarding energy comes from not only seeing friends and acquaintances on social media buying solar and Tesla Powerwalls for their homes, but I'm also following Tesla's progress of growing its battery production facilities, building out energy storage solutions for grid-scale utilities companies. That means collecting the energy from solar and wind and storing it in batteries for when it's needed later on. This will eventually eliminate the need to burn coal, and is the cleanest, cheapest, most sustainable, reliable way to produce energy for eventually the whole planet. And the speed and scale Tesla are growing their energy division, in my mind, it's again a matter of when, not if, it takes over from the biggest energy suppliers of today. Now, for some reason, it's easy for me to picture the future. I'm not sure why that is, or I might just be insane. There's a possibility of that too. This video is going nowhere. And I don't just mean its view count. No. I mean to say that this will exist in the future to hold me accountable for either my insanity or my ability to put these Tesla jigsaw pieces together. Oh, I like that. Did you see what I did there? I may even stand to gain some future credibility for having the foresight to see what's coming. Not only do I risk my non-reputation here on YouTube, but I've also put my money where my mouth is and invested everything I could into Tesla and continue to buy more shares at every opportunity. This is not financial advice. Do your own research, etc. You do whatever you want to do with your money. But to me, understanding Tesla's past, present and future gives me no reason to doubt its future success, its financial growth over time, and watching Tesla's lead grow even further from its already totally dominant position in the auto industry is just more evidence towards a brighter future. I am not willing to watch from the sidelines the greatest financial opportunity humanity has ever seen. Let's revisit this video in 2030 for some vindication. Go on then, thumbs up or thumbs down. Have I put forward a persuasive argument for Tesla's future? Or are you having none of it and think Toyota might be right after all with hydrogen? I'm really interested to hear your comments either way. And just so you know, I'm having a really nice time making these videos. I hope you're finding some value from it somewhere, and it'd be really great if you could subscribe to my little channel as I'm doing my best to grow it the best I can. And if you press that little bell end button thing, it'll let you know when I post a new video. But I've already made a few, look! There's more of my strange contents here and here. I'm Will, this is the Tesla Jigsaw, thanks for watching. Well, that went well. Oh, it's cold.